Alright, in this video, I would be doing soil aggregate testing from two different methodology methods, or two different methods to find out the particles within the soil samples. So I have soil samples from a tilled field as well as a wooded area that's nearby my grandparents' house. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get started with the project that's called the Soil Quest. For the first method, where we have to line up our soil samples in pea-sized balls, line them up that way. This is what I have done. You can't see, I'll just see a little bit better. We have this, which is from the tilled field. And then we have this, which is from the wooded area. Much, much darker. So I'll tell the difference. Tilled, lighter, wooded area, darker, which we've learned is from the organic matter that lives within. Even have worms compared. No worms, worms. And now we are about to fill the transparent containers with distilled water. Both the same amount of water, which they have shifted a little bit due to the water pouring. Now we're going to wait and see if it floats or anything. We're going to give it 15 minutes. Tilled field, wooded area. Okay. After about, I want to say it's been only about 4 minutes, I can see that the tilled field soil is breaking down way more than the wooded area. Particles are just spreading apart. And this is only in 4 minutes. So like one ball is almost completely dissolved or completely broken up. And here there's a little bit of breakage or particles breaking away, but not much at all in the 4 minutes that it's been sitting from the wooded area. So, all right. Well, we'll see you in about a good 18 more hours and see what we have came up with. So, 20 hours later, we have where our soil sample from the tilled field breaking down and coming together, basically showing that their structure will not be held with rainwater, so it's more prone to erosion. And then we have our soil sample from our wooded area, where it pretty much still holds its structure, even though it's been broken down. The beads are still basically together. They did not form as one like the teal field did. So basically, and how you really can tell which is really which, The teal field is more of the light brown color, showing that some of its organic matter has been lost. And with the wooded area, with it being so dark, the darkest brown, you can tell that it is full of organic matter, where the structure will continuously be helped with rainfall, less prone to erosion. Well, which is less prone to erosion. And here we have, for our first method, the results of the soil aggregates. For the second soil aggregate testing method, I wanted to show you guys the materials we'll be using. I have 2 cups full of faucet water that I will be filling inside my transparent measuring cups. Then I have the tea strainers, the somewhat graduated cylinder. It's just some type of measuring cup. Improvising here. Then I have my soil samples, which are from the tilled field and the woods again, along with paper towels that I'll be needing. And this is what we'll be using today. Alright, so in the steps of using these materials, we'll be filling up our transparent cups, which I use for measuring cups. We'll be filling up to almost the brim of the cups. This is where we'll be dumping our soil that we put inside the tea strainer here. And so we'll be dumping that inside of them. And here is our graduated cylinder, where we'll be using about, let's go to a tablespoonful of soil samples in each strainer. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do that. Once again, fill your transparent cups up with water to the brim. Take about a tablespoon full of soil. Knead it up. Put it inside your soil strainer. And after you do that, you'll be dumping your soil inside that strainer up to 20 times, which will be for each sample. All right. Okay, now I have kneaded up my soil samples, my tablespoonful of soil samples, kneaded those up to place here inside of our tea strainer. So I'll be starting with the tilled field soil first. And then once I place this inside of the tea strainer, I'll dump this about, it's going to be 20 times. I'll do both soil samples like this. Dump them 20 times. Once I'm done, I'll take the remaining pieces of the soil sample and dump them here onto our paper towel here to observe the structure and how it held up. Once I do that, I'll let the residue of what I was dumping settle for about 15 minutes. And then I'll pour 50 milliliters into my graduated cylinder and observe as well. Okay, for this method, for this soil aggregate method, I will be taking a tablespoon from each soil sample and inserting them here inside our tea strainer. And I made up an example of a tablespoon needed. So if you were to need this is like about the size or the amount of soil soil sample you should have. So we'll take a tablespoon worth of soil from our sample and placing it here into our tea strainer. And once again, this is a tablespoon. Alright. So we'll start with our first sample. I'll take here. Okay. And we will be dumping it about 20 times in 2-second cycles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to do this 20 times. This once again came from our tilled field. I guess it's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, oops, 20. All right. We will take this sample, unclamp it, and place it onto our paper towel. We'll let that sit for about 10 minutes. At the same time, we'll let this sit for about 10 to 15 minutes to further our observation. And we'll do the same, clamp our wooded area soil sample and do the same thing 20 times here with 2-second cycles. Six, 7, 20. Same goes here. We'll take the sample that's inside our tea strainer. And dump it onto our paper towel. Filled in the wooded area. Alrighty. And this is the end production of this step. Okay, in this video, I'll be taking excess water out of our soil sediments. And so we'll take out majority, but what is settled on the bottom, and we'll transfer that into our graduated cylinder. And this right now is the tilled field, and I'll do the same thing for the wooded area. So from the observation of the soil sediments inside the graduated cylinder, it is about, I'm gonna say it looks about 3, maybe 2 milliliters has settled. So now we'll move on from the tilled field soil sediment to the wooded area soil sediment. Okay, with the soil sediment that is on the bottom of the graduated cylinder, that's from the wooded area, is less than the soil sediment that was on the bottom of the cylinder with the tilled field. To me, showing that the soil aggregate that's within the tilled field is less compared to the one from the wooded area. Even with the structure, how once again, like the first testing method, the particles of the soil sample came together and really formed as one, creating a whole nother structure from where it started from, to with the soil sample from the wooded compared to the soil sample from the wooded area, where the clods hold their structure, showing that the aggregates or the sediments, the aggregates that's within the wooded area are less prone to erosion compared to the one from the tilled field.